Anyway, I thought what might be fun tonight is playing a little bit more of Alan Wake 2. And I'm hoping I'm able to verbalize some coherent thoughts about this game. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll just have to play it and see. But yeah, let's talk about it. Hi.
I'm gonna leave. I love you.
Have a good time.
Bye, chat.
No. Anyway, yeah, I thought that might be a fun thing to do. Alan Wake. Let's see. Last we left off. Twitch is apparently doing a Duolingo thing. I don't know the details. Not happy about it. Last we left off, Saga Anderson showed up in the town of Bright Falls after a mysterious corpse was discovered in the woods. Which later came alive, attacked some people, ran off into Cauldron Lake. She discovered there an overlap, used the dead man's heart in order to access what seemed to be a place in between the dark place and reality. And out from it came Alan Wake. Saga on the trail of the clicker, which could potentially stop whatever's going to happen. Goes to the local town of Watery and travels through an amusement park owned by the Koskela brothers called Coffee World. That's right. Okay. Now I remember. Alright. So, went through Coffee World, accessed an overlap using a moose skull mask, and now she's heading back to Bright Falls. They really do create the best commercials in the world. They're really good. I make an entire theme park dedicated to watery coffee. Yeah.
He said he could use the clicker to undo the horror story. I need to get back to Bright Falls, to Casey and Wake. I should check in with Casey.
I do prefer the, the stronger stuff. A little less watery. Could be worse. I gotta say, the atmosphere of this game winds up being impeccable.
Casey. No answer. David. Pick up.
Hey, this is David. Leave a message.
David, can you call me back, please? It's urgent. Please. Why isn't David answering? Is Logan all right? How does this all work? Has the horror story already gotten her? Wake should know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brian. How you doing? I do like that we get to go through these different environments at different times of day.
Look around. See where the water was hiding.
The water really, or the lighting really does wind up changing the tone and atmosphere of these areas. Hi. Y'all having fun? Having a good time in there?
I don't think everything's okay in Coffee World. Have you noticed? I'm getting this, like, off feeling every night after work.
What? Are you having nightmares again? Like when you were a kid? Do you need your security blanket? Need Blanky Blankerson?
You keep Blanky out of this.
Yo, I love Blanky Blankers.
Quite the show that artsy fella put on today, eh?
What if I do need
I
Blanky
had half a mind to
Blankerson,
come
though?
down and start dancing.
Oh, why didn't you? You could have grabbed life's gifts one thing. See you around.
Performing a big swap on the over to Linux on the main system? Oh. Sounds cool. Good luck with that. Let's see. Should we head back to the lodge and start the next chapter? Or... Did you pet the deer? I did. But
Hey
I'll
there,
do it.
Mr. Deer. You remind me of a dream I had.
Always a good idea to pet the deer. I think there's 8 of them in the game, and if you pet all of them, you can access an extra room that's got some supplies in it.
I was back. I wasn't able to escape. The dark presence had stopped me. I had seen the title page of another manuscript. Return. I didn't remember writing it, but it felt familiar. Important. I had to find it.
So at this point in the story, we're kind of laboring under the assumption that Alan... The scenes with Alan are previous in the timeline. That when we get to the end of Alan's story, it'll be the moment that he escaped from the lake. Right?
The plot board was empty again. I needed a new draft, back at the beginning, but closer to my goal.
Previously on Alan Wake. Yes. The Slafter. Oh, that sounds nice. The last draft of Initiation had brought me to my writer's room. But not the one where I was writing now. A different reality? A different time? I had died in the end, again. The dark presence had killed me. But something had changed now. The memories of what had happened were not eaten away. There'd been another manuscript here. The title page read Return. Had I written it, but then forgotten about it? It felt important. It was important. Return is the manuscript that Alan is writing in Alan Wake's American Nightmare. That then gets rewritten here. One of the reasons that Alan can't write Initiation and Departure and then Return, like one of the reasons he can't just Return is because Departure and Return are 2 parts of the hero's journey, separated by Initiation, which is the bulk of that journey. Initiation is like half of the hero's journey story. So going straight from Departure to Return doesn't make narrative sense. Doesn't work. It's not a story. think that Alan may be trapped in his own body with the dark presence at the wheel. That's a good way of looking at it. Alan doesn't remember writing the script for Return, but it's my interpretation that the dark presence isn't able to muster up the creativity in order to create art.
I would write a new draft of initiation to reach Parliament Tower using another murder site. Scratch was reaching out from the dark place to get Alice. She was out, but still in danger.
Every time he wakes up in these scenes, he touches his forehead there. If you notice.
Welcome. Our guest tonight is Alan Wake.
No way!
Wanted to do something.
Television's Alan
I was
Wake?
back, and I hadn't forgotten. I knew how this worked now. I could take control, no more surprises.
What demons he wrestles with in the dark hours of the night. Together with our house band, the divine old gods of Asgard, we have created something very special. The song is called Herald of Darkness, but I like to call this next segment the story of the journey of Alan Wake, the musical.
Oh, it's a musical adventure!
Let's do what we always do. We'll chat, but instead of talking, we'll sing it.
Take control. I love the way that Remedy uses their musical sections. I think it's inspired. I think it's lovely. In Alan Wake 1, there's a section, obviously, where you're on stage fighting all of the Taken. Oh, but I can't sing. Just try to harmonize. Maybe hum along. It'll be fine. Probably one of the best parts of that game. Control has obviously the ashtray maze, which feels awesome, and I love it. And I really want to think about what they're doing with the music here.
What the hell?
From what I've gathered, you grew up nice and sheltered with mama's pretty stories and your own made-up fury. And mama gave me a magic clicker. Well, yes, I think it's true and fair to say.
Alright. This is one of the scenes that FK wanted me to talk about. You can see Alan here has a teddy bear and a painting, and he's in his, like, childhood room, it looks like.
You've been missing all the fire you're bearing, the eye of the darkness, your light.
So, it's a book he's holding, I think? A real kid's book that Sam wrote. Oh, interesting. I think one of the things that might be happening here is, okay, here's a question from Alan Wake 1 is, was the clicker a real thing? Or was it invented at some point during that game, right? So, like, the clicker in Alan Wake 1 is presented as something that Alan tells Alice about when she's afraid of the dark. He talks about, like, the clicker driving away the darkness. And this could be, the way it's presented, just a story that Alan's telling her about, you know? Like, it could just be something that he's making up there. The fact that the clicker is the item, like the Deus Ex Machina, that can defeat the dark presence in that first game is sort of lends credence to the idea that maybe it's something that either Alan or Thomas Zane invented just so that they could defeat the dark presence. Like, that we needed an object that would be able to defeat them. What if none of that was true? And the clicker was actually invented by this song that's being played in the dark place right now? What if this song is rewriting Alan's backstory to include the clicker and the idea of, like, a herald of... Hi Ash, how are you? What if his backstory is being rewritten in order to introduce these concepts? You know? What if Rule of Cool could change everything? Kind of, yeah. Or narrative convenience, at least. Because, like, we just saw when we went through that door that, like, Alan's sort of childhood objects were replaced by the clicker. Are we supposed to take that as a metaphor? Or...
So you were drawn to stories early on. My dreams would light up my imagination. And you had nightmares night and day. Yeah, but with the clicker I chased those frights away.
So true.
So here is a clue of hope to remember. Visions, they come true. Bend the lights with string.
Act scared. Champion of light, I'll show you the herald of darkness.
Dive and deep to the
Lucky bun blop, lucky bun blop, lucky bun blop, lucky bun blop, lucky bun blop,
Thank you,
lucky bun
Dumbressa.
blop, lucky bun 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 blob.
Dumbressa, thank you for 43 months. Lucky, thank you for 25 months. And Talon, thank you for 41 months. Oh my goodness. Also, I like how we have Odin, Antor, and Baldur? Which I think is the first time we've seen this character. Like the pointing, it's on the nose, but it's good. It is. It really is. Yeah. All right. So it's interesting that right here, the lighting changes to put everyone into silhouette, and the music is changing so that it's coming out diegetically. It's being filtered through the television, and it's coming out garbled because of that. This game really likes to play with the idea of artist, subject, metaphor, and reality, and sort of like blend these things together. What they're doing here, like, it's kind of obvious just to point this out, but what's going on here is Alan Wake, writer, is walking through a presentation of a musical, which is about Alan Wake, being performed by, amongst others, Alan Wake, and now he's seeing on the television an Alan Wake, and then becomes the Alan Wake on the television? Artist, subject, metaphor, reality.
And the award goes to Alan White.
Great job, Alan. You really deserve it.
And all your stories of crime and chilling thrillers of hard-boiled killers became bestsellers. It was all too much. I had to get away.
Even Alan was like, I'm not that much of a hack to give myself an award. The lamp does have the appearance of an award, doesn't it? Isn't that the whole thing with Mr. Scratch, too? He can only exist as others wish him to be, just as Alan exists on TV as the public perceives his performance. In a sense. Yeah. Scratch appears... Scratch is the dark presence inhabiting the guise of Alan Wake. I really like the stage directions on the floor. The song here uses a couple of contradictions. One of which is a piece of true fiction, which is a fun one because obviously this is a game about fiction becoming reality, right? The other one that I really like is diving deep to the surface. Obviously the surface isn't deep, it isn't downwards unless the lake is inverted. And I find that fun. And here they use the stage directions to create a body outline. It's very fun. Obviously, this outline is alluding to Alex Casey, which is where we picked up the flashlight and the revolver in the first place. Flashlight. Alan, take.
But there is more to it than meets the eye. I never meant for it to ruin my life that way. Would you say you lived a jaded lie? Dark shades could never save the day. So sad, but true. It's your gift or a curse. Oh yeah, made of dreams.
The champion of life. I'll show you the herald of darkness, lost in a never-ending night, diving deep to the surface. I love his sunglasses. It's neat how they keep the music in time to what you're doing. Just lingering on the riff, but they've got a bunch of different licks that are just randomly playing on top of it, drawing your attention away from the fact that you're lingering and the music isn't advancing. It's perfect. It's done so well.
I see I've arrived in time for a little shift.
No boy. Zach, thank you for 34 months. Welcome back to the Corner of Hearts, Your Majesty. This might be my favorite Alan. He's a really good one. He's hard boiled. It's really weird for them to wait until chapter, what is this, 4 of Alan's story? In order for them to recap the first game. Like, don't worry, if you didn't play Alan Wake 1, we'll catch you up. Through a musical number.
Don't give up, Alan. You have to survive to get the royalties from the off-Broadway run.
Happy once again. Just one shot, one more chance for him to save their marriage. Away from the city, a romantic getaway.
Yo, it's Deer Fest going on. like Tom Zane before him. Is the Old Gods of Asgard a band that exists outside the game because they feel like they should? That's a great question. Yes and no. Yes, they do. Outside the game, their name is the Poets of the Fall. In-game, they're called Old Gods of Asgard, but they do exist as a band outside of this. And they're quite good, too. I love this little recreation of the writer's room.
Still he's a torturer and couldn't be much clearer. War means his warrior, true and right. Darkness within him held her hostage. Seen her drowning, was saved from the darkness of the lake.
Show you the herald of darkness. You know, I love they gave Thor his hammer. This is, I think, a perfect recreation of the first game. In that it's so much better paced and more fun to play. Wait for solo. Oh, there it is. Oh, the stage directions are so good. Enemies. I didn't know this was a recreation of the first game. Yeah, like we get a little bit of backstory about the clicker, and then we get Alan arriving into town on the ferry, and then we get the writer's room, and then he's battling Taken in the woods so that he could return to the cabin at Diver's Isle and save Alice. Yeah, it's like a little mini version of the Alan Wake. was a really cute way to do it. It's gonna be so fucking hard to write a song like this because the solo has to theoretically extend indefinitely. Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a few video games nowadays that do this sort of thing where they have like dynamic music and then they change them based on like what type of action is going on in the scene. So like in a lot of video games these days, they will have like music for an environment and then they'll have like a battle version maybe that seamlessly transitions between the two. But I haven't seen any other game use it like this.
I didn't see that coming.
You know what, Ellen? It was a bit of a surprise. Sure, sure.
On second thoughts, let's not go on TV. 'Tis a silly place.
Oh, man. I love that we go into the TV just to go into another TV. It's like media inside media inside media. There's a recursive element to this. It's very similar to some of the stuff that's happening in like House of Leaves. Appropriately. But yeah, this game really relishes the idea that it is a work of fiction about fiction. It's art that's talking about art, you know? And doing so is fundamentally silly, right? Making a thing that's about the thing.
A vision?
Okay. Bye, room.
Such a dark place, am I trapped in here? Is this real? I cannot remember. There was a manuscript, it held a key. A vicious cycle I must not surrender to. Echo scenes to seek out again and again until I figure it out to bring this song to its end.
It's just a little jazzy. Use this.
You gotta figure it out to bring this song to its end.
Musical. The final chorus brings the song to its climactic end. Now, I don't want to be a dick here.
You have to find your way out.
But there's no apostrophe in the possessive it's. Oh, just a little typo there.
Knights of Guinevere is also art about why the piece of art you're watching has to exist. It's a cool frame that I wish people have used more often.
I'll have to check that out. I'll show you the herald of darkness, lost in the never-ending night, diving deep to the surface.
And I thought this place couldn't get any stranger.
Champion of light.
Catchy, right?
Herald of darkness.
Ah.
Lost in the...
Hi, Auntie. Yeah, me too.
Hi, Swedish brothers, perkele. Ai, että nyt on kyllä, joo. Laitto pojat jenkkakoneet soimaan.
I don't know if I need to check back out for spoilers. I'm trying not to spoil anything though. Are you continuing Alan's story? I am probably continuing Alan's story for one more chapter, yeah.
Some say that it lives forever, this road that I lose you on every time. Some say that it lives forever, this road. Some say that it lives forever, this road that I lose you on every time. Some say that it lives forever, this road. It's not meant for me, they're meant only for you, I see. Wake up, it's only a dream on a winding road. Now that you're in my bed,
Okay,
in the dark chamber of my head, I flip you over until you bend. This winding road, don't you ever let me go. Forever I am living, never play and pretend. Forever, never, never wanting it to end. This message that you send to this winding road, it's just the beginning, only the ending. Winding through the night, only the end. It's just the beginning, only the ending. Winding through the night.
The song is a little bit different every time, like every chapter. It's the same, like it's on loop, but it's a little bit different every time. Like maybe it's not a loop. Anyway. I love this song for the bit where they're like, so sad but true. So, the thing that I find a little bit interesting about that is that this game is concerned with the idea of truth, isn't it? Oh, goodness. 1 sec.
Don't die, Bun. You need to finish the video.
I do, I'm sorry. And something caught in my throat. Okay. Is this your first playthrough? No, it is not my first playthrough. I'm kind of avoiding spoilers. Kind of. As we talk about this. But no, I'm familiar with what happens in this game. Maybe you can never find absolute truth, but you can get closer and closer to it with a lot of work. Yeah, so I guess I have, I guess the question is, like, what truth exists in the world? And how do we either determine or, like, how do we know it? When something is, conforms to reality, right?
Virgole, Lucky Bun Bloom.
Virgole. Taichidu, thank you for 64 months. Oh my goodness. Lost truth a long time ago. All we have left is hyper reality. Ugh. Ugh. That's one of the ideas of like postmodernism, right? Is the idea that is the questioning of what it is to know truth, or to know anything, right? And that's not to say that there isn't truth or there isn't a way to know anything, but it's an exploration of the mechanisms through which we do these things, right? Like in order to know something, that knowledge has to be in your brain. Now, from a material perspective, where in your head does that knowledge exist? Is it written inside a neuron? Is it written inside a cell? How does that exist inside the brain? And if that is the case, then how is that related to what is true, you know? If it's just a cell or a neuron or a flash of electricity in your brain, how can that be as true as the thing itself, you know? Yeah. And the other question is, like, how do we convey truth to others? A lot of the times this is done through, like, language. But there's a lot of things that just can't be communicated through words, or can't be communicated adequately through words. Through hearing other people's words or reading other people's words, we can't necessarily get the experience of the thing from those. Didn't we already answer this in 999? Yes, it's the morphogenetic field, obviously. Truth is a consensus in a way. From an anthropological or like sociological perspective, absolutely, I agree with that. From a philosophical or an artistic perspective, not really. Like, yes and no. Because if you look at it from the perspective of something like art, is art true? Well, that's going to be not based on consensus. That's going to be entirely internal. That's going to be something inside you that the art is evoking, you know? If you look at it from like a philosophical point of view, it's not necessarily consensus. It's based on rules. Like there are axioms that you could come up with in order to make a proof of a true statement, right? That is a form of consensus if we agree on the same axioms, right? But yeah. Anyway, I think this game is concerned with the like artistic version of truth, and art is one of the ways that we try to convey truth to others. There are things that we can't communicate to someone else using just words alone. Like there's no simple way to communicate the way that something smells or something tastes or the experience of seeing a thing. Like we could describe what we're seeing, but there's a feeling of looking at something like a sunset or a moment that like isn't communicable simply by saying I saw the sun go below the horizon, right? There is something about art that's trying to communicate things that are true that we don't have any other way to put into words. And I think a really simple and a really small version of this, the way that art both communicates reality and affects reality, is like a song getting stuck in your head. This is something that's very, common. It's very small, but it's also pretty obvious. You've been affected by art, even if it's a bad song, if it's catchy, that's an artist who's using tools, melody, tempo, pitch, instruments, in order to create a physical reaction in the world. They have changed your brain by getting a song stuck in your head. It's not a big change, but it is apparent.
Song stuck in your head? Sounds like you've got acute art poisoning.
That's what it is, yeah. And it's contagious. With everything ultimately constrained by our senses and our ability to interpret, even holding a real thing in your hand and dreaming about doing it aren't that different. Yeah, from a certain perspective. Yeah. Pretty sure Tolkien explained what the smell and touch of grass is like. Right, which is why I said, you can't communicate it through words simply. You could create art with words in order to communicate the thing, right? But I wouldn't consider that a simple, rote, or mechanical a way of using language. There's definitely an artistic way to create, literature and poetry and things like that, which do communicate these things. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at. This game just makes me think a lot of things, and I don't necessarily have an overarching point to it, which makes me really self-conscious about talking about this, because I feel like I'm not smart enough to unravel this game, because I don't know if the ideas of this game are pointing to a larger point, right? I don't know if they're there to do things beyond incite conversation. I think that is the case. I don't think I have a point, I just want to talk with you. I think that's what the game is doing. Like, it has things to say, obviously, but it's sort of saying them in conversation. A bunch of poets were interested in making poems that had a bigger influence. One particular about deathbed. Poems written in such a way you were continuously out of breath. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Like, how do you explain color through words? Exactly. And here's another thing, is that color is not true, right? There is an objective reality about color, which is the way that light reflects off objects in a certain wavelength. But, like, the fact that human eyes and brains and senses perceive that as something we call color is a made-up concept, you know? Like, if there's other intelligent life out there, they don't necessarily see light of different wavelengths as being different or worth distinguishing, you know? Purple is probably less real than any of the other ones because, yeah, it's blue and red at the same time. But, like, all colors are, by and large, created by our senses. They're not necessarily a part of the universe. And obviously there's plenty of colors we can't see. Everything up into the ultraviolet and down into the infrared spectrum is completely beyond discernment for us. And even the colors that we can sense, we are limited in how we're able to discern between different ones, right? Like, there may be 10 times as many greens as the human brain can perceive, and we just wouldn't know. I mean, we can measure that. We know that there are more of them, but our eyes just don't distinguish between things that are too similar, so. Weirdly, our eyes are also able to discern.
We need shrimp colors.
Our eyes are also not at all equivalent in terms of colors. Like, if we look at all of the wavelengths, we can pick out differences in greens better than we can in yellows. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there's just more shades of green than there are, like, orange.
It was all about me. This performance the Dark Place was putting on. But I had no control over it. I knew how utterly lost I was.
Green is the easiest for the eyes to pick up. Red is the hardest.
The payphone was ringing again. The mystery caller was back at it. I had to find out more.
Mentioned. Lord Malver has entered chat.
They're electromagnetic waves. Yeah. But we see, like, wider bands of those waves as the same shade of red, rather than we're able to discern more narrow bands of green. It's weird.
Colors are a projection from a space that has infinitely many dimensions. Every creature that makes that projection differently will have a completely different concept of color.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
Alan Wake? Do you know who I am?
How the fuck could I?
Whoa! There's that famous temper. Lucky thing I'm not a paparazzi.
You keep jerking me around, refusing to tell me who you are.
You remember? Oh, fuck me. Alan, listen. Tell me, how much do you remember? Did you visit Parliament Tower? Did you find anything there?
Yeah.
Keeps doing what?
Alice is in danger. Scratch is reaching out to her, and there's another manuscript. Not initiation, return. I saw the title page. I don't remember writing it.
Return. Oh man, this is what we're after. The Scratch can't have it. Our survival, the survival of the fucking cosmic everything depends on this.
Cosmic everything.
Ocean View Hotel. I left my room key for you. It's right there on the payphone. Remember, the dark place works in loops and rituals. If the waves keep pushing you away, you just need to find another way in. We go with the flow of this ocean. Catch you soon, brother.
The Ocean View Hotel. A suspicious invitation to a shady meeting. Right on the money for the hard-boiled genre the whole city was built upon.
Yo, Barry Wheeler mentioned. I just made PB&J. Yo! Love PB&J. There's that Ocean View Hotel. Okay, right here. No, not
The Ocean View
PB&J.
Hotel. My destination.
PBJ in Borderlands 4. Oh, yeah, good. Doesn't Goop start with a G? God damn it!
A loop that delivered me back to the street.
Good.
What did the mystery caller said? If the waves keep pushing you away, you just need to find another way in. With only dream logic to lead me to the hotel, I look to the neon signs for guidance.
An unforgettable immersive theater experience. See it live at Ocean View Motel. Cool.
A dark presence is out there. It's hunting me. Its spies are always watching. It's trying to catch me. I think it did more than once. It's stealing from me. Stealing my identity. It wants to be me. Replace me. Twisted version of me. Scratch.
Charging all my credit cards.
It's slithering into the story. Once it's in the story, I have to use it to keep the story true. I got in. I have to make the story darker now. But that gives it power. That's bad. I don't want that. But I have no choice. It's an arms race. I gotta keep it together. Damn it. I'll be the first one to cross the finish line. I have to beat the devil at his own game.
The story I was building was fragile, constantly under attack. There was no time to waste. The dark presence was only a step behind me.
I love Alan Wake, but I don't say if I can control to be more fascinating.
Oh, I've seen that movie. I think it's a cult classic.
It really is. If I can control to be more fascinating, and I'm probably in the minority, I just keep wanting to peel back the layers under the narrative. I think Control has better lore, but I find Alan Wake has the better story. Just to differentiate between like narrative and universe building. Like I find the universe of Control really fascinating. Yeah, there's a credit here for Thomas Zane. And also Alan Vieco? Lake? Alan Wake? Baba Yakala? Ilmari Huatari? Alexi Kesa? So, Alex Casey, Barbara Jagger, Ilmo? Huatari? Ati? Thomas Zane? Alan Wake? and music by Ati and the Janitors. The heat of the murder was like a crown burning on his brow. Yutanyu. I think that's how it's pronounced. I trust I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I don't speak Finnish.
Casey! You're the killer.
Casey's back.
The cult leader. It's in your eyes. No! You got the wrong man! It's Scratch! There's no time to lose! You're going nowhere. I was dead tired. I just wanted it to be over. It was all my fault. I'd had this dark place in my head for so long. Sometimes I'd forget the pain was there. Like it was the way you were supposed to feel. I was not in a dark place. I was the dark place. The source of it all. The vessel. Me and the writer. We were the same.
This place kept pushing me under, getting into my head, poisoning me with darkness. I had to find a way to escape before it was too late. Too late again.
So when we played Alan Wake 1, when we did the Bunalysis of that, someone brought up the idea, like, when is Alan Wake just gonna kill Sam Lake? When is the creation gonna kill the creator? And I said, oh, just you wait. This is what I was referring to. The Alan sections made me realize I would unironically read an Alex Casey novel about a nihilistic, doomed detective solving supernatural crimes in New York. Great news for you. There's these games out there called Max Payne. So, hey, y'all know how much I love Silent Hill, right? And I always complain that every game after Silent Hill 4 is just trying to be Silent Hill 2 again and doing it badly. You know? Alan Wake 2 is the story of a guy trapped in a nightmare version of a town where he spent time with his wife, who is missing, presumed dead, and it might be his fault, filled with demons who are representations of his own internal conflict. And he's sometimes pursued by and sometimes meets an idealized representation created from his own head that he watches die over and over again. Here's what I'm saying, is that Alex Casey is Alan's Maria. Yeah. Alan pizza. Scratch is his pyramid thing? Yeah! Yeah, it's a version of him with all of his most toxic traits. Yeah! Yeah!
I will, with great sorrow and regret, let you have this one bun.
It's true, though. Just a hobbyist tartar. I find it interesting that Alan has to keep killing Casey for the story. Like, Alan has to stop writing the kind of story he used to, is good at writing, on the behest of some evil overarching thing that is controlling the environment around him. Yeah. Yeah. Alan suffered from that first writer's block after killing off Alex Casey. Maybe on some level he feels some guilt over that? Or maybe he feels like even though he killed off the character Alex Casey, he just can't be rid of it. Because it's what he's known for, you know? Maybe he wants Casey to be dead. Perhaps it's both. Alan Wake 2 equals Silent Hill. Does that mean this game is actually about circumcision? I think this is closer to Silent Hill 2 than 4. And 4 is the circumcision one. So I'm gonna go no, but I'm gonna leave the possibility open. There's an interpretation. What if this is all about Wake's circumcision? Lost Dimension? I saw it. Stop hitting me. Alan Wake gonna try to regrow his foreskin. That's why he wants the clicker. He wrote a song about regrowing his foreskin. He's gonna use the clicker to make it happen. Is Alan clicker trained? Yes. Clearly. There's a whole new meaning to the loading screen tips. Just the tips. How's the game treating you? You know, pretty good, I think. Pretty good. There are no happy endings. Final Casey. Lost?
I could see the Ocean View Hotel. I was getting close.
Do I, borrow that? Final Casey is a horrible title. It's not great. I think Cold Casey is probably better.
The lights affected where the door led to.
I feel like the movies got kind of a pun based, you know. Whereas I think one of his other books, like one of his other Alex Casey books, was called The Sudden Stop, and I think that's a pretty good title. Like, that's a pretty good hard-boiled detective novel. Whereas, like, I don't know, I feel like they got kind of pun based later.
I could use that shotgun.
Let's see, Manhattan, Lake on the Rocks, a shotgun. Ocean View Cocktail.
The bar menu caught my eye.
Night Springs. Kind of Casey titles, so I don't know. Whole case Casey thinks. Read it as a diminutive of case. Like, aw, are we solving your little Casey Wasey? Yeah, I get that. Huh, I'm a beer. Oh my god, a working CRT. Now we can play Melee. Let's go. They give you a shotgun, and then they give you an excuse to use the shotgun. That's great. Appreciate that. Sorry, one sec. Ocean View Cocktail, $25.50. Okay. Let's mess up my quick slots. That's... I think my quick slots were fine during the musical number. Ah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. The Universe Max Payne 3 is like when he decided to have a ghostwriter. I think it's... In this one, Alan talks about like having trouble with the Alex Casey adaptations, because he's like, I wish I had been more involved. They're kind of their own thing. And I feel like that's Sam Lake talking about Max Payne 3 and maybe the Max Payne movie, you know? I really wish there had been more of Mr. Door in this game. I love Mr. Door. I think he's great. They almost portray him as being kind of sinister or like, I don't know, malevolent? And I don't think that's the case. I kind of think he's a good guy. Oh, hey! Is that Tom Zane in the diving suit? Looking cute in diving suit? I think it's very much us seeing Door through Alan's lens. Yeah, and I do want to point out also that we do not see Mr. Door mentioned in any of Alan's manuscript pages. It's really important to point out. It's a Mark V diving suit, and if you want to, you could dive in one right now.
The room was empty.
Is that the big gym?
More games. Was the film a message waiting to be played?
Is that the big gym suit? From classic horror game Deep Fear? There is one page. Shh. We'll get to it. There is one, but it's important that there isn't any until then. More media where Alan is watching Alan portrayed. What a gorgeous set. I'm so glad they filmed this in a place, you know? Nice pleather.
In this temple of shadow and mist, there's a window in the floor and a door in the ceiling. There's no knowing, am I standing still, or running, or kneeling?
You're the one who's been calling me.
Indeed. I'm Tom Zane. Welcome to the House of Zane.
The poet. The diver. You look like me. How the hell?
Or maybe you look like me, you handsome devil. The diver was a beloved character I played in one of my films. I'm a filmmaker, a celebrated auteur.
I need answers. Why is Return so important? What?
Alan, you always get worked up like this. Come on, I'll fix you a drink. You and me, Alan. We're in this together. Two artists collaborating, remember? Crafting the keys to our escape. Your magnum opus, Return, and its companion piece, my film. Sharing our life-altering visions, a melding of higher minds. Dreaming up our transcendental work of art. Here, in this room, 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 in this room.
Oh, they're getting freaky.
I need the clicker. It's Return, but because we return.
Yo, far out, man.
And that is how the magic happened.
Enough of this bullshit. Alice is in danger. I need another murder site to go further. Back to Parliament Tower.
Scratches! Your wife is safe, back in the real New York. But Scratch is reaching for her through an overlap. Return is the key to escaping the dark place. You need to get it before that freak does. There's a murder site here in the hotel. Let the waves of your writing carry you there.
Hello?
Jesse? Darling?
They're all to us. If anyone asks, you were never here.
That was Jesse Faden from Control?
Thomas Zane had ended our talk in what felt like a paranoid fit. I had what I needed from him. There was another murder site in the hotel to guide me further toward my escape. I had to write my way to it.
So, here's what's funny. Okay, so Thomas Zane, in these scenes, in the real life scenes, is being played by Alan's face actor, whereas Dr. Casper Darling, who appeared on the TV there briefly, is played by Alan's voice actor. And all three of them are in that same scene. It's very funny. I really like Thomas Zane. I think he's one of the best parts of this game. I think the introduction of him as this, fucking weirdo is great because he is a completely different type of artist to Alan. And I think it's really important when you're making a game. So Alan Wake 1 is a game that's about art. I think that Alan Wake 2 is a little bit more about the production of art. And in order to do that, you need to talk about artists. And if an artist was only presented like Thomas Zane or Alan Wake, then I think the game sort of creates a sort of stereotype of the types of people that its creators think are like artists. Like Thomas Zane is kind of obnoxious and just one of those far out experimental hippie type do a bunch of hallucinogens and have an out of body experience type of artist and then tell everybody about it like it's deep. And I think that that's an obnoxious way to look at artists, but I don't mind its inclusion alongside other types of artists and creators. I think it's funny in this context. I like it. Yeah. I also enjoy psychedelics that don't make you more creative. Not necessarily, yeah, but they're
In order to make real art, you gotta have some weirdos. Some real goofballs who don't want to wear shirts.
Yeah.
They don't all have to be like that, but you need a couple.
You do, yeah. It's implied by the way he introduces the party scene and then ends it is that the scene was shot by Zane, and it's the most hack thing I've ever seen. It's the most stereotypical party scene you could possibly film, right up to the terrible nu metal on top of it. It's perfect. Yeah, and I do like the juxtaposition of Zane shooting that scene with the handheld camera, and then transitioning that to him doing finger guns with the sound, like the gunshot sound effect, like he's shooting the scene. It's cute. It's a fun little visual gag. Meanwhile, Alan writes genre schlock and acts like he's John Steinbeck. Yeah! Yeah! Looking at Zane's poetry, it's really quite good. I really quite like it. I do think it's really some of the more interesting work in here, whereas the stuff that Alan's producing is kind of schlocky and trope heavy, but Zane is a trope. You know? Like, he's a stereotype of a type of artist. I just think it's funny. They also continue to muddy the waters between the fact that we all remember Zane as a poet and the fact that this game portrays him as a director.
An idea nagged at me. I could almost reach it.
So I don't think I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about these inspirations here real quick. I've been doing these puzzles a little bit throughout, and I haven't really remarked on them yet, aside from to say that these are, like, a real thing in the universe. I find it interesting that the way that combat works is we're shining light onto the darkness in order to give it form. But in order to get inspiration, in order to get these ideas, we're obscuring the light with darkness. We're creating an eclipse that hides the light behind the dark.
Police radio kept me awake at night. The word through the ether. A murder in the backdrop of a play featuring a murder cult. How meta can you get? He said, looking knowingly at the camera. I could sense the cult of the word in this.
Fuck
and their
you,
leader,
Sam Lake. I love
Mr.
you.
Scratch. Rumored to be Alan Wake, the writer who'd gone missing years before.
The hotel was a perfect setting for a Casey story. I was on the right path.
Good night. Good night, Jade. That's gonna keep happening tonight. Ow. How meta can you get?
I would start at the entrance lobby.
Oh. Sam Lake, you hack. He's brilliant. I love him.
The entrance hall set the mood, where everyone had come in. The victim, the murderer, the detective. An idea, clear as a vision, waited for me here.
I feel like I would call Sam Lake a hack the same way that, I've said this before, but, both Hideo Kojima and Yoko Taro have put characters in their video games in fetishistic, skimpy, borderline pornographic outfits, right? And Kojima said, oh, there's a good reason for this, right? Kojima's like, oh, there's a narrative that requires the character to look this way. And Yoko Taro in interviews has said, I like pretty girls and I put one in my game. I don't believe either of them. I think they're both fucking liars. Because there's clearly a narrative reason the 2B looks that way. It's clearly thematically important that the main characters act like seem like they're trying to act like inhuman robots and look like the way they do, and that the enemies in that game look like tin cans and act more human than anybody else. And like, there's clearly thematic and metaphorical reasons for the characters to look and behave this way, and it's important that they do. And Quiet breathing through her skin isn't fucking... Not even a fucking... It's so dumb. I don't believe either of them. So... to bring this back around, I feel like this is what I mean when I say that Sam Lake is a hack. Because, like, he's clearly on the surface thumbing his nose at, like, ooh, this story's so meta. I'm gonna have characters comment on how meta it is. But the meta-narrative's important.
There's an even more important part of the process than that, which is that it's important that the director fucks with you when you ask them questions, and the more they fuck with you, the better of a director they obviously are.
I 100% agree with that. I totally agree with that, yeah. Kanye from the first Nier also has a reason. I know, and it's so good! Ah! God, Nier is fucking masterpiece. It's amazing. Oh. But yeah, there's moments in this game of cheesiness, of hokiness, of hack writing, and it's there on purpose, doing something. It's great. Gotaro said 2B looks like that because he wants to see sexy cosplay and art and figures of her. I think that Kojima said something similar about Quiet. Like, I think part of the reason that Quiet looks like that is because he wanted to see cosplay of that. I'm not 100% on that, though. I can't remember where I read that.
Director of this play?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, it's Ed Booker.
Our performance of the cult was cursed from the pre-show ritual on. The cult is an immersive theatrical experience.
Uh-huh. You're gonna have to walk me through what that means.
Immersive theater. A play where the audience can participate, spread across this hotel. The cult is a legend. The only written copy of the manuscript lost, the play is passed on as oral tradition between theater companies. Each company only performs it once. The play was said to have special power. You were like kids playing with a Ouija board. And when you call for the devil, it will come.
The pre-show ritual. That's it. Set it up. Start from the beginning.
Another ritual,
Good evening. They let me drive a tractor today. A tractor.
Are you tractor certified? Kudos,
immersive
Pluto, thank you for
theater.
9 months. Of
What's not
goodness.
to understand? The audience shows up and we dip them in theater.
We immerse them in it, yeah. You know, there's parts of this game that, and I don't know if this is the case, but like there are parts of this game like Casey's saying, I wasn't in the dark place, I was the dark place. When he's saying that like the dark place exists within him, when there's like when you call for the devil, he appears. These ideas of rituals and things like that. I am reminded of stories I hear about developers of games who work on stuff like Mortal Kombat, who have borderline traumatized themselves by looking at reference photos of gore or bodies and corpses and stuff like that in order to recreate that in a video game. I'm reminded of artists who will put themselves into a depression by writing about certain topics, you know? The idea that, like, when you immerse yourself into a subject matter, it becomes a part of you. And that can be really harmful if you don't recognize it happening and have a way to deal with it, you know? I don't know if this is a thing that ever happened to, like, Sam Lake or the people who worked on this game. But, like, I'm sort of put in mind of that when I hear, when this story talks about, the way that the Dark Place inhabits Alan. I don't know.
The plot changes shape the world around me. Layers upon layers. A play about a murder cult, infiltrated by a real murder cult.
In a video game about a murder cult, and the murder cult's being investigated by a guy from a novel about the murder cult?
The ballroom was where the pre-show ritual was held.
It's cults all the way down. So what's interesting is, the cult being presented here is the cult of the tree. You can see the symbol on their necklace and the deer mask. Like, it's the cult of the tree is the fictional cult that the play's about, but it was infiltrated by a real cult called the Cult of the Word. But this is happening inside the Dark Place and based on Alan's writing, because in reality, the Cult of the Word is a fictional cult that Alan's made up in his writing in the Dark Place, and the Cult of the Tree is the real one. Yeah. You get it. Difference, of course, is that when a writer or high-level director, for example, does this, they start that process as voluntarily as anything can be under capitalism. When Mortal Kombat artists do it, it's usually like grunt work forced into people below the actual heads. I agree with that. I do think that there is a moral aspect to forcing someone to do that I think is worth exploring and worth talking about, and obviously worth condemning. But I do also think that there are people who are passionate enough about art that do wind up accidentally submersing themselves so much into their work they're passionate about, that they wind up doing real harm to themselves. And I think that's more like what the game is kind of exploring. Unless you want to take the dark presence to be a metaphor for the obligations of capitalism, in which case it is coercive, and Alan is being driven into depression through the work that he's forced to undertake. So, I mean, it's that too. But you go.
Wake.
Same like folks. We like to have fun here. Yeah. Trongle. Can't go in the Trongle door. Comfy. Big old clawfoot tub. They don't make them like they used to.
The room at the end of the corridor was closed off. It felt significant. Something terrible would happen there. Then
he told me of the significance. It will be significant. And then he killed the dog.
The troop were busy building their own Wicker Man, where they themselves would be sacrificed. The prop room had been changed from room 104 to room 225.
Mm-hmm. I think that these symbols show up on the doors of the Ocean View Motel in Control. I think they're the same. Just when I learned these games were made by the same people. Aww. Cute. I do like that the prop room has changed from room 104 to 225, did it say? Yeah, 225. Very cute. The symbol of the cult and the tree are pretty similar. One is two triangles overlaid, the other is two circles overlaid? Yeah. Yeah, the cult of the tree and the cult of the word are both both of their symbols have two triangles, and some of the other symbols are also overlaid geometric shapes, obviously.
I didn't have a key.
Choke on these words.
These guys are so mean to me. It's a very triangular game. Here we go. Hey, Casper. Coward Allen, it's your VA. Hey, if you play this game for yourself, which I do recommend doing, you should come back here to this room in New Game Plus. Take a look at that TV and see if anything's different. Maybe just give it a little watch. Oh yeah, that is a triangle. We're not gonna see Tim? I don't have the key for Tim's room, and I don't remember where we can get it from. It's around here somewhere. Is this New Game Plus or a first playthrough? It's a new playthrough.
This is where they gathered before the play. This is where it began.
Where it all started.
Another vision. Another idea.
Why set up a play in a hotel? Why this hotel?
Because the rent is cheap? No. The ocean view was perfect for this. It's said to be haunted. Dark stories about murder, death, suicide. Supposedly, an actual cult once performed an unspeakable ritual to summon something in the ballroom. Did we summon the same thing? Tapped into something horrifying? It seemed like it was part of the play, but it wasn't. Does that sound crazy?
You don't want to ask me about crazy, kid.
A haunted hotel. Yes. That's a trope for a reason.
It's a trope for a reason. If you'll notice, the symbol on the floor has changed from the cult of the tree to the cult of the word. I haven't played Max Payne before. Are there supernatural elements in the first two? I believe there's meta-narrative elements, and at least one, like, hallucinatory experience, but I don't think supernatural. That said, I haven't played them, so I don't know. I hear they're good. I've heard good things. What's this? Oh yeah, that's how we got across the hall of it.
I couldn't get in. I was missing something.
Do you want to know how to find the key? Oh yeah, please let me know. Sure,
The
it's not
ballroom
missing,
would
I
be the
just don't
stage of a
remember.
key scene in the play.
This is cute. I was gonna chide Alan for saying, it's a door, Alan, you're looking for a key, but then remember this is the dark place, anything can be a key. So true. No, I have not. Not really. Not really put any points into the writing there. Room 219, head towards room 206. Huh. Did we already do that? It's 219. Towards room 206. Okay.
It could not be opened on this side.
Hmm. Oh, from this side. Oh, okay. There we go. Yo, wait a minute. Wasn't I just talking about how Alex Casey is Alan's Maria? How can they just sit there eating pizza at a time like this? There we go, thank you.
Hey, Alan. How's the memory doing?
Sorry, who are you? Kidding. Good to see you, Tim.
Got him.
You had me going.
Cozy place you got here.
You know, your disappearance from Bright Falls is still the only thing that folks talk about. Well, that and Deerfest.
Is that still going on?
Is this where you ended up back in 2010?
You know about that?
I am the sheriff of Bright Falls. Or I was.
Are you related to Sarah Breaker? She was the sheriff of Bright Falls back in 2010.
Yeah, she's my cousin. I had a police sketch made of Dor based on my dreams. I sent it
She's
around
my
and Sarah recognized the face
cousin.
from an old case file from the 80s. I moved out there to look into it.
Sometimes
and
I feel
became
like
sheriff
I
after
know
she left
her.
to join the feds.
Some of the most precious, nice parts for Alan in the Dark Place, and they're literally the only time we meet another person. Yeah. And it's possibly a character from Quantum Break?
There was a mop here and now it is gone.
So Deerfest is still a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's bigger than ever. You know, I got zapped here.
Switch.
How do you even file a door?
How do you? Switch, thank you for 29 months. Welcome back to the Court of Hearts, Your Majesty.
Right before it was about to happen.
Funny, me too. What was in the case file about Dor?
Not a lot of details in it. A local man named Warland Dor went missing near Cauldron Lake. Eyewitnesses claim he was struck by a bolt of lightning and just vanished. I never found any official records of a Warland Dor living in town or anywhere. Another dead end.
Interesting. Mr. Dor kinda sorta related to Mr. Hatch from Quantum Break. Yeah. Warlin Dor Martin Hatch. I don't think that's how most people go missing around Cauldron Lake. There is an account of lightning being related to a disappearance in Cauldron Lake. but it's when the Anderson brothers were confronting the Dark Presence. A bolt of lightning was involved with that. Yeah, totally Glaucus. Mm-hmm. What's going on in the pre-show ritual? Cult of the Tree. Hit your marks. Keep your masks on. Make it weird, people. I would totally want to see this play. Not I. I would hate this play. I don't want anything to do with it. I am so awkward around situations where people are acting around me. Stuff like Renfest, which I love, but like that, or like those immersive experience like theme park things. No, I'm way too awkward for that. You know, Jenny Nicholson did that video about what was that fantasy park thing? Evermore. Yeah, that sounds like actual hell. For me, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I think it's cool, but yeah, I can't deal. I just can't. No, I would not be a LARPer. No. No, I have tried it a couple times, but it's very awkward for me.
Buns Hell is in Utah. Somehow unsurprising.
True. Even theater gets me a bit awkward. Yeah. I think that's a thing for a certain type of person. Like, I think that's something that certain types of people enjoy. No role-playing games. I enjoy role-playing games, but I have a tough time doing like the acting or improv parts of them. I like sitting down and rolling dice. I have a harder time putting on a character. Although I do it every once in a while and enjoy it, you know. But you know what I mean. I think I know I've told this story before, but I'd like to do it again. Is one of my favorite LARP experiences was going to a friend's birthday party who had a bunch of friends who were part of their Vampire the Masquerade group. So like there were probably like a dozen of us, but it was like 4 or 5 of us in like plain clothes, and then the rest of the people there were wearing like velvet cravats and capes and shit. And like poet shirts. And we're standing there up against one of the walls, and I've got my arms crossed, and one of them comes over and goes, "Oh, can I see you?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And they were like, "Are you invisible?" And I was like, "I don't think so." And they're like, "Oh, I thought you were obfuscating." And I'm like, "Okay, got it." What? I wish I was now.
I mean, a thing Jenny pointed out in her video was also that these guys were not doing LARP in a responsible way from a labor or audience boundaries perspective either,
Totally,
on top of the general shittiness. It's spun Cena.
But yeah, I was not in a headspace where I was thinking that my arm gestures of crossing my arms over my chest was a signal to other people that I was invisible currently. So.
Do you even obfuscate, bro?
So that was a surprise to me. They were all very nice, though. I had a good time. Everybody was very kind. No complaints. It was just a fun story. Can we have that rule in general? Yeah, if you've got your arms crossed, everybody pretends they can't see you. That'd be kind of great. Fun when someone asks if you're invisible, you say yes.
It's getting real, all right. I recognize my writer's room on the stage.
Uh-huh.
I almost dreaded the ideas this would conjure up.
I've always had a vivid imagination.
Nice set you got here. What was the scene in this room?
Well, this is what we call the writer's room. In the play, it's where the devil rewrites reality whilst God is asleep. The devil was our star role. I got a big-time celebrity to play him, and he was method acting the role to perfection. He never broke character, always wore the cult mask. His name was scratched out on the posters.
Mm-hmm. And who was this mystery celebrity? Let me guess. Alan Wake?
I wish I could tell you. But turns out there were masks upon masks. Whoever he really was, shit got weird when he was around. Some of the crew joked that we'd actually hired the devil to play himself.
Mr. Scratch as the devil. He was born to play the role.
I had to agree with Casey on that.
So, Chris Pratt. Oh, that is the devil. Oh no, it was Jared Leto. So, I do find this really, really interesting that all of these stories, so like Alan's writing for Initiation so far, the first draft was the subway, right? Where Casey's on the tracking down this cult who's led by Alan Wake. Or he presumes so. And then here, a cult has infiltrated this theater production. And the person behind it all, Alan Wake, Mr. Scratch, something like that, Alan keeps writing himself into the role of the villain in these stories. Like, when he's going through these scenes, and he's putting together, he's putting together the writer's board, he's casting Casey as the hero, and himself as the villain. Kind of interesting. I only caught a little bit of that since I was cooking, but as a LARPer myself, that sounds like you went to a vampire LARP. Yeah. Basically.
Space Invader. Looking cute in a human suit, secret agents with a down raise, they shoot psychic powers, hypno eyes and magic fruit trees.
Trees, machines, weird mysteries. We got freaky fantasies.
Psycho killer on the run in Night Springs. I don the black hole sunkas in Night Springs. We're just looking for the thrill all your nightmares come true, crashing through the warning signs. Your car breaks down just outside in Night Springs.
Horror villains are often the kind of the protagonist after a fashion. Kind of, yeah. I can see that. The implication that he's rewriting the story while God is asleep. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. And I think that kind of alludes to how Return was created. Right? If Alan is the writer of this place, he's something of the god of this world. And while he refused to write, Scratch took over and created the manuscript for Return? That seems to be something of the implication. Also, Sick Back, that song is so good.
The story was affecting the scene.
Good stuff. Yeah, the story was I went to a birthday party for a friend who half of his friend group was part of his Vampire the Masquerade LARP.
This is not my writing. This is Scratch mocking me.
In his room, he will hear. Okay, so the blood all over the place and the gore, and then the bodies of the cult of the tree guys here. Keep those in mind. We're gonna put a pin in that. They're gonna join the pin we've got next to Alan telling Alex Casey, "Give me the gun," and Alex Casey says, "Not a chance." We're putting this in a pin right next to that one. Okay. Ow.
I'm lost in the dark. The story is over.
Ow. Yeah, get you out of here. I think we're following the blood here. This game involves a lot of like backtracking through environments you've been through before, but it does a pretty good job of leading you around those environments. I talked to FK about this, and they brought up the idea that in like Coffee World, you're led through the environment trying to get the screwdriver in a way that causes you to be jump scared by the cassette tape, and you have to go through the gift shop where like the knives are, and all of these things sort of stick in your memory when you find out you need them later for the ritual. You could reuse Alan's storyboard for your own story pins. I'll see what Matt can do.
I'm weak.
Alright. Back at the entrance hall. I might need to go to... The actor of the devil had his own dressing room. Okay. I think I know where that is. Stored in my mind trailer. What would be the worst mind palace? The mind trailer, the mind cabin, the mind outhouse. Let me just flush that into my mind outhouse. Yeah, It's where I store all my shit ideas. Do not disturb. Well, guess what? I'm disturbed. I'm pretty disturbed now.
The devil walked through the hotel, dragging the whole place to hell with him.
The mind back of a 2 a.m. Denny's.
Don't bother me. I've got an idea and it's really urgent that I get it out right now, and it's going to be messy.
The devil's path up the staircase was draped in blood.
Ah, the staircase, yes. That's too much blood. in my humble onion. Alan Wake, this is my story. The mind office cubicle? Oh, that's just depressing. You know what? For those of y'all that have played Be Our Guest Grand Opening, I believe Kenneth has a mind office cubicle. I think Kenneth has one of those. That's where he stores all his ideas. Somehow it's very comforting to him. Imagine a troop trying to put on a weekend play like this, but it's a production of Clue. Oh my god, I'd love that. Ugh, communism was a red herring. Right, like, that's probably too much blood. This is a unrealistic amount of blood. Flames on the side of my face. Where did he get all this blood? I know, right?
I felt the presence of a new idea here.
Mr. Scratch, if that's who the actor playing the devil was, had stayed in the hotel. Asking around at reception got me a room number. 666.
Of course.
He had requested that room, specifically. The devil had a sense of humor. Or he really didn't. It was funny either way. According to the director, the actor hadn't mingled with the rest of the cast. He had only come out for the play. And always in character.
Alan, you hack. This hotel has how many rooms? Yeah, having 606... Like, having 66 rooms on the 6th floor? In New York? No, I don't think so. Should have been the 9th room on the 6th floor. Nice.
Scratch had been here. I could sense his presence lingering in the room. I was about to have another killer idea.
Let's talk about the murder victim. The lady who was killed in the climax of the play.
A lady?
The leading lady. Oh, it was an honor to get to work with her. A grand dame for sure. She went back a long time. Kept insisting she had seen the long-lost original script of the play. She'd been with this mysterious writer, his muse. That was her role in the play. The muse.
She was staying in room 108, where the murder happened.
The set of the final scene, right. The devil comes, an unstoppable force crashing through the hotel through each scene, executed with devastating mastery. And all leading up to him meeting his muse. It turns out he knew her. He'd only joined the play to get to her.
To murder her.
Not you again.
Oh! That do be a dark presence, though? That presence do be pretty dark.
Get the fuck away from me!
What a big Angie.
I had to use the light ahead to hide from the dark presence. I made it. The dark presence had come for me. Drawn to the story I was writing as it grew darker.
Don't know if Alice inspired Alan at all. Absolutely, yes. Alice is often referred to and presented as Alan's muse. The same way that Barbara Jagger was to Zane. So there is a direct link between the Grand Dame and one of those two. However, we do get to see who it actually is. Hey Foxy, how you doing? This is just the plot of Shadow of the Vampire. The devil is Willem Dafoe. You know what?
The muse was the murder
You're
victim.
wrong.
The final scene took place in room 108.
Hmm.
I've had enough of that freaking gumshoe dick asking too many freaking questions. Not letting us proper police take care of it.
This is our chance to make the powers that be happy. We'll be set for life. Part of the inner circle.
Well, amen to that, partner. I like it. And so will the fraternity, the club, the word. Our dear friends with many names. The way I see it, it was a lone nut job. A junkie out of his mind on some fancy new designer drug.
Open and shut case. All we gotta do now is dump the evidence from room 108 in the usual place in the alley.
Uh-huh. I love this because Mulligan and Thornton, yeah, wind up in the story as corrupt New York cops who are also members of the cult of the word. Whereas, in reality, they're corrupt small town cops who are members of the Cult of the Tree. Fantastic. Missed a couple hours of this. Don't worry, Damon. I don't think I said anything interesting. It's okay. Also, if you'll notice, they said all the evidence from room 108. 108 is going to be important because that is the Devil's dressing room where the final scene takes place, and is also how many minutes you have before you have to enter the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42, and then press the button, or else the world ends. You have 108 minutes. It's nobody. If you add the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42, they add up to 108. And it's a digital route of 9. Man, I love worms. Yep. Okay. I suppose I deserve that. Hey, do come around onto Discord next Wednesday? This Wednesday. Because we are going to be watching some more LOMs. And as someone said when we were climbing the stairs, there's no such thing as too much blood. LOMst will show you why that's not true. This Wednesday we'll find out that there is such thing as too much blood. Hey Jack, how you doing? Cite me properly, I will sue you. I'm sorry. Let me see, my font size is very small. Okay. Yezigra. I trust I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Oh, it's wet here now. How much is too much? The answer might surprise you. Interesting. So we got cityscapes of New York here. We've got that subway line. And the diving suit. Remkerd. We put it on vinyl, baby. Lost on the shore between the forest and the ocean, the owl and the deer reflected in motion. In his room he will hurt her. In hers she is caught. His story ends. Her story does not. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone. So. I don't know if I ever put this together before, but this poem, is about Alan and Saga. The owl and the deer. Alan is related to owl imagery, which we see in Parliament Tower and in the stuffed owl in the writer's room. Saga has a deer head on the wall of her mind place and on her sweater. Reflected in motion, because they're reflections of each other. between the forest and the ocean. So one is on the shore, the other is underwater. Lucky the Discord link is broken. It's not broken, you're banned. You're... It doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. How is the game? The game's great. Enjoying it. I think the rest of the writing in here is just the same. I'm trying to pick out what that music is. I'm playing a cool horror RPG game called Look Outside. It's like Cronenberg played Earthbound. Interesting. Huh. Fascinating. Can I join, please? No, and don't ask me during stream. I'll work and no play make Alan something something. Is it Alan, or is this Zane's writing? Because I think this is one of Zane's poems.
This was the murder site. There was a record at the bottom of the bathtub, beneath the body. Somehow it was important.
That's rough.
Another step. Somehow I was closer to home. Closer than ever before. It's you again. The FBI agent. Saga Anderson. I'm closer now. I can feel it. You helped me get closer to escaping.
Wake? Are we still trapped? Yeah, the clicker. We can...
You know about the clicker. It can help us. I destroyed the dark presence with it last time. You can help. You can find it. You must find it.
I can get it to you. I have to understand. Did you write the story?
Alice is in danger. I have to stop Scratch. I have to find Return. I need to get back to my apartment. I'm writing a story to get through. Initiation. It's the only way.
The story. You can do that. You can write out...
It lasted only for a moment, like two planets passing in orbit. Saga Anderson was helping me go deeper, closer to escape. Somehow, I had to trust her. Parliament Tower. I had to get back to my apartment, my study. I had to find the manuscript of Return.
Dialogue between Alan and Saga is super cool because they're having two entirely different conversations. And the conversation that we just saw is different than the one we saw in Saga's... she met Alan after defeating Thornton and Mulligan in the overlap. Alan here had a different conversation. We will see this conversation and that conversation happen again. They're just out of order.
Aren't meant for me. They're meant only for you, I see. Wake up, it's only a dream.
It's really fascinating because the fact that they're switched makes them seem very different to both Alan and Saga.
I flip you over until you bend. winding road. Don't you ever let me go. Forever I am living, play and pretend. Forever, never.
Reflecting on glad someone's so cool stream. Oh. Hey Papa, how you doing?
This message that you send to this winding road. It's just the beginning. Only the ending. Winding through me now. Only the end. It's just the beginning. Only the ending. Winding through me now. Only the end.
I think I'm curious about re-examining, in light of the broader game, the nursery rhyme doll puzzles. I think the nursery doll puzzles are explained in the game in the way they are meant to be in the way they're meant to be interpreted. Thanks for following me. Oh, of course. I think it must have been... You must have rated at some point. Because the idea of the nursery rhyme doll puzzles is that the FBC was trying to study the effects of the dark presence on fiction. So they were trying a bunch of different types of fiction to see what it sort of latched onto and what sort of stories that it decided to make real. And they landed on something that would have been simple to produce and a strong influence on the dark presence, which was fairy tales that are based on tropes and archetypes. Obviously, one of the reasons for that is because these games, both Alan Wake 1 and 2, and Control, are really interested in the idea of the collective unconscious and the Jungian archetypes. The persona and the shadow, the conscious and the unconscious, so the dolls that we wind up picking up are representative of different archetypes. They're representative of these tropes in wider fiction, and then we make the stories out of them. And those are able to a small extent, influence reality. So much in the game that's doing more than one thing at the same time, so at some point I need to revisit them and see if they also work in relation to the broader events of the story beyond their obvious function. Yeah. It's why this game is really, really difficult to talk about. It's why I have such a tough time with it. Because I really like it and it really makes me think, but also it's really difficult to take these things and put them into words. I need to keep playing Control because I got PC upgrade. Should run better now. Control is great. Is Alan Wake 2 Cosmic Horror? I'm gonna say no. There are similarities. But at the end of the day, I don't think it serves the same function as like a cosmic horror story. It's got too many rules. Because, like, the thing about, like, I would say that the Dark Presence is a sort of cosmic horror, because it's like a dark, unknown, and unknowable thing. The problem is that it also obeys a lot of rules that are very strict, you know? And, like, I don't think that quite fulfills the same itch as like a horrible cosmic unknown. I don't think it's quite scary the same way. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. It's more primordial than cosmic. Yeah. The Dark Presence doesn't feel like it's beyond
was
humans.
Here again. Zane said the manuscript of Return
Yeah.
was the key to escape.
Yeah, the Dark Presence needs humans. It can't manifest without them. Whereas, like, I always felt like cosmic horror, the gods are often ambivalent to humanity, though sometimes humanity tries to, contact or worship them or that sort of thing. But it never feels like they're beholden to human ideas. What year did this come out? 2022? Question mark? 23? Pretty recently. Cosmic kind of accidentally fucks us up the way you'd step on a bug. Yeah. Yeah, the idea of cosmic horror is terror in the face of oblivion, right? That this universe is wider and older and more empty than is comfortable for us to think about, and that it will be here long after we're gone and has been here for, billions of years before us. And this doesn't really capture that. Yeah. Because, like, the Dark Presence and the horror in Alan Wake cares about not necessarily humanity, but it cares about art. It cares about fiction. This game is beholden to being an art form, and it cares very deeply about the human creation of art and media.
I had to get it before Scratch did.
Too much to be cosmic.
Had I chosen to pursue the cult, or had they chosen me for some unknowable purpose? To be a demon, to sort the clues based on my interpretation, to change that which I observed. It was all a play. Shadows on the wall of the cave, an echo of the true events that happened somewhere else. Was I there to watch the shadows, or was I a shadow too? In a performance set up for someone else.
Oh, fuck. It only cares because it's nothingness. Art is creation, and so it seeks it out to become real. Use it. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that. So he mentioned the demon, which I think is a reference to the Cartesian demon. He mentioned shadows on the wall, which is a reference to Plato's perception of reality as like watching shadows on a wall. That there is a true reality, but that we're unable to perceive it through human senses, right? I talked earlier about the idea of the Cartesian demon. And then he said something that really fucked me up here, which is, am I watching the shadows or am I a shadow in a production for someone else? Because I just realized that I am both audience and subject currently. Oh god. Oh fuck. Moon, thank you so much for the raid, my fur and whiskers. How are you? Because I'm sitting here playing a game that's being that I'm consuming as an art form, and then I'm talking about it in a way that's being consumed by others, that I'm being watched by people talking about fiction that I'm consuming. So I'm the subject of art about this game, which is about the production of art. Right. A VTuber avatar is literally a shadow on the wall. Right. It's shadow puppetry. Fuck. A subduction? So, how was your stream, Moon? Did you have a good time? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Detective Casey. Today we're playing a cool murder mystery game. Hey, if you like what I do, it turns out only 12% of you are actually subscribed. So remember, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell if you want to get notifications as to when my next sweet videos come. Oh god. I can't believe this is what the writers were up to while the painters were busy with the house fire. Oh, spoilers! That, Chai. For what? I can't say. It's spoilers. But that takes place in the Mist universe. I swear to God, Gen is one of the writers. I know it. I know it's true. I can't prove it. But I swear to God, Gen was writing Riven. Gen wrote the Bright Falls Age. There are similarities between the Dark Presence and the art, so... The core premise of this world is that what we consider reality is an entirely incorrect premise to begin with. Yeah. Again, Alan... Owls. Owls? Owls. Okay. Alan? Related to owls. Saga? Related to deer. Alan's persona is an owl. Saga's persona is a deer. The owl and the deer reflected in motion. A group of owls is a parliament. Don't make this game political. Don't put politics in my video game. Something all of Remedy's games are Ouroboros, chicken and the egg.
Go to hell!
I would understand that. That would make sense to me. Chai, what do you think about this? What if the clicker didn't exist as a backstory for Alan until the chapter of this game we sing when, because the old gods of Asgard made a song about Alan's past involving the clicker, now that becomes real. Although, if that was true, that would require the actual old gods of Asgard to be here in the Dark Place playing for the Mr. Door show. And, That's clearly not the case, because the old gods of Asgard are out. We met them in the trailer park. So they're definitely not in the dark place. Yet. I wonder if that changes throughout the course of this game. We haven't seen that part yet, Chai.
Alice had turned the bathroom into a dark room.
A dark place. Oh.
I needed to get inside the manuscript.
Alright, we're gonna skip most of these. However, a bunch of emails from Barry, which I love. Hey Alice, everything good with you back home? Just checking in. Tried to call but couldn't reach you. Probably just deep in your creative process. I know how you artists get when you're in the middle of your projects. Everything else disappears. If you call back and can't reach me, I'm doing whatever it is an executive producer is supposed to do. Still a mystery to me. Oh, and if you want me to help with anything business related for your exhibition, just say the word. Yin is sneezing a bunch. Ryu! Hello, how are you? A fluffy raid? Oh my goodness. Well, hello, fluffy raiders. How are you today? We're playing some Alan Wake 2 and talking about it. Cause, I love this game. It's really good. Hey Alice, shark circling. They now want to turn what happened to Al into a movie and or a TV show and or, get this, a fucking video game? I told him to fuck off. Also, in case you hear about this from someone else, a true crime writer named Tammy Booker is working on a book about AI. Hunted down her publisher and told them we'll sue. Don't worry, I got you covered. Your pal Barry. Hope it's been a fun stream. It has been, I think. I hope folks are enjoying it. I hope you had a great one. Here's what's interesting about this, to me, is that this is appearing in Alan's dark place.
Good old Barry knows just who to threaten.
Yeah, Tammy Booker is the lady we met at the diner, who is working on a story about Alan, right? But how does that information get here? Because, like, the Dark Place doesn't have internet, so this isn't an actual email. This has to be an email that was either written by Alan or remembered by someone in order to wind up here, right? So how did it get here? Alan's been at the bottom of this lake for 13 years. He doesn't know who the fuck Tammy Booker is. I think there is an answer to this. I do think this is a question that has an answer. Casey! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for the raid! Oh my gosh. A lot of raids today. Casey, I hope you had a lovely stream. Or Alan thinks of himself as the kind of person who people would definitely make all kinds of media about if he disappeared. Yeah. This is let me bury the lead slightly, because I don't know if I'm going to remember to get back to this. I think that the reason this is here is because Alice remembers it, and she winds up back in the dark place. I see no reason real-world info can't make itself into the dark place. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much access the Dark Presence has to the world outside of the lake. Might have kept going a bit late. I couldn't put down Silent Hill F. Ooh, I heard that's pretty good. Gonna do some post-stream, Kara? Go take care of yourself. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for bringing your friends by. Appreciate it. But then why tell Alan? Right. So... when we talked about Silent Hill 2, I brought up the idea that what we're experiencing is not simply James's manifestations. It's not simply the town through James's eyes, but that reality is being affected also by Angela and Eddie and, to some extent, I think even Laura. I think that the Parliament Tower we're seeing here is a memory of Alan's, but it's also affected by the art and memories of Alice as well. Reality shifting as a result of rewrites definitely seem to have a broader impact beyond just the lake, though those changes do seem to have been connected to somebody or something local. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that the Dark Presence would have gotten this email from somewhere and then put it here for any purpose, you know? I think this is something that Alice brought to the lake. We will find out later that Alice has come back to the dark place here. Spoilers. I apologize. But I can't talk about this without... without saying that. Because I also think that the shades that we battle in the dark place here, these like, sort of wavy, indistinct figures, are very similar to the photography that Alice was taking for the Dark Place exhibit. And I think that's what they're doing here. I think that the taken in the first Alan Wake are different than what we see in the Dark Place here, because I think these are created out of Alice's photographs instead of out of Alan's writing. What was the other good one? Oh, I think it was this one. Hey Alice, you're gonna think I've been replaced by an evil double, but I have joined a cult and I love it. Joking about it being a cult, kind of. Blessed wellness retreat. Working with Al or the Andersons was tough sometimes, but these movie types are insane. My stress levels were through the roof, and then I was tipped off about the retreat. Best decision I ever made. I've never felt this good and, well, healthy. The guy who runs this place, Chester, is a goddamn miracle worker. Not a wacko in any way. Also, I've been replaced by an evil double and joined a cult. Haha, JK. Unrelated to anything happening in this game, right? I know you think I'm full of shit, but I've lost a ton of weight. You wouldn't even recognize me. Chester says I'm lucky to have ended up here. Something bad would have happened to me if I'd stayed in New York. I believe him. I wasn't feeling great after everything that happened, especially after those FBC creepos wanted to chat with me. Enough to turn anyone into a conspiracy nut. I hope you're good over there. Come visit anytime. West Coast is not as bad as I make it sound in my earlier emails. Your pal, Barry. Honestly, Alan doesn't deserve either Barry or Alice. I totally agree. He's way better characters than he'll ever be. And I've got a soft spot for Alan. I like him well enough, but like...
For months after Ellen died, I didn't leave the apartment. I was flattened by the confusion, the shock, the guilt, fear.
The joy, the sorrow.
I could barely get out of bed. Barry Wheeler started visiting. He even cooked me meals.
Oh, you're a real one,
I couldn't
Barry.
stand the guy when I first met him, but he's a better friend than I gave him credit for.
Yeah, he is.
He still checks in. Even after he moved out west.
Chester is from Control as well? No way. That's cute. Part 1, The Depths. Love is weakness. Trigger when viewer close. Intimate. I wish we got a Barry DLC. I know, right? But yeah, if you see like the pictures like this sort of stuff, don't these seem similar to like the shades that we're interacting with during the Alan sections of this game? I think that's where they're coming from. I don't want to step on these pictures. That seems rude.
Alice's work had consumed the apartment. Her whole life.
Duolingma balls? I can't believe Alan died of duolingma. Owl.
One morning, I saw a deer soar past my bedroom window.
Owl.
It was a balloon of some cartoon animal. And I looked out at the street below, and I saw a little girl crying. Like losing that balloon had just ended her whole world. It was the perfect image of the horror of caring. And that's when I got myself out of bed. And I picked up my camera.
Part 2, The Comeback. Weakness is clarity. Just need to show a glimpse, make you see what's beneath the surface. That child's crying was the bee's knees, let me tell you.
There was something in the dark. Something I needed to see, to show. The more shadows I photographed and filmed, the more I felt like I was on the verge of a breakthrough. I submerged myself in it. I only went out at night. My search became obsessive, but I still had no idea what I was looking for.
This is a lot for Alice to do, given that she has a, like, paralyzing fear of the dark. Which I don't think they mention in this game. Part 3, The Search. Clarity is purpose.
There's a world hidden behind ours. A dark tide ebbing and flowing against reality. Faces in the shadows. Fear of the dark is really just fear of what could be, that vast, paralyzing ocean. But photography can freeze reality in a snapshot, put a cage around the infinite and capture it. I need to prove those faces are really there.
Connection, then pain. Pain through love. No boundaries. Be ruthless. Purpose is strength. Wow. God, the cabin set looks so good!
The full manuscript of a novel. Return. A horror story about the dark presence escaping from the dark place, taking over Bright Falls. I couldn't remember writing
That's
it.
not good.
I had not written it. I would never write this. I knew who had. Scratch. A monster with my face. If this story came true, Scratch would get out, people would die. Destroying the manuscript, it wouldn't stop it from happening. I would have to fix it, edit it. I could not change the genre of the story. I'd have to work within the constraints set by Scratch. I needed someone in the story to fight the darkness. Saga Anderson. I kept seeing her in my visions. She was already in Bright Falls, already involved, but she was not in Return. Not yet. I'd write her in, try to stop Scratch within the limits of the horror story. It was almost impossible. It was taking too long. I had not reached the end.
I pointed out earlier that Saga's not in any of the manuscript pages, except when written in by hand or on pages with no edits. For this reason. Like, learning that Scratch is the writer of the manuscript and that Alan's been editing it. Adding entrances to the overlaps and parts to the ritual is fascinating.
It's not meant for me. They're meant only for you, I see. Wake up, it's only a dream. On a winding road.
Specifically because he's already seen her. Yeah. And he's only seen her after she finds the pages. Very chicken and egg sort of thing.
This winding road. Don't you ever let me go. Forever I am living, play and pretend. Forever, never, wanting it to end. This message that you sent.
Here's another thing, is I think that the scene in the theater production, when we learn that the devil is writing reality when God is asleep, is what tells us how Scratch was able to write the manuscript in the first place. Because I don't think that the dark presence itself could create art. I just don't think it has it in it. I don't think it's a creative entity. It's too constrained by the need to find somebody to make art so that it can exist, right? If it could just make its own art, then all the rules would go out the window. Which makes me think that Scratch is fundamentally a different entity to the Dark Presence. It is the Dark Presence, but it's also part of Alan. Like, it is both of these things, and that it is Alan who wrote that manuscript under the influence of Mr. Scratch, under the influence of the Dark Presence, you know, with the Dark Presence inhabiting him. But it is still part of him that's making it, you know. AI can't create art. Yeah. Or capital, or whatever you want to use the Dark Presence as a metaphor for. Yeah. It isn't creative. It doesn't have the ability to imagine. Scratch is the Dark Presence being written into something that has fewer restrictions. Kinda, yeah.
Scratch stopped me before I could finish my edits to the manuscript. The memory of my edits was already fading. Terrible things would happen if the manuscript came true. Scratch was there, at Parliament Tower, undoing my work. He could use the story to escape. He could go after Alice. I needed a new draft of the story. One that would get me ahead of Scratch.
I had to stop Scratch before he escaped. One last chance, one last draft of initiation to get me there. Seems like Alan may have had some preternatural or paranatural abilities. Talks about his active imaginations and all that, so when he got to the boundaries of the Dark Presence, it jumped on him. Yeah, and we actually see, in the first game, he mentions that he's always had a vivid imagination. In Alan Wake 2, that's a mechanic of the game. Like, the little inspirations that we see are representations of his active imagination, you know? Which I think is interesting. It was a good choice.
Zane had said we worked on Return together. That was a lie. Scratch wrote Return. I would pay Zane another visit. He had guided me to 2 murder sites. I needed a new one to get back to Parliament Tower. A new draft of initiation.
Alan, you're all wet. Oh, it's very damp in here. Alright, I get to talk about something that I've been excited to talk about this entire thing!
I don't have time for this, so let's get it over with. Tell me, was this all fake? A show?
No one said otherwise, Mr. Wake. It was to indulge you, but we can stop pretending now.
Masks come off.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Alright. Hey. Question. Alright. Here's what I've been excited to talk about. is I think I've figured this out. Barbara Jagger, Baba Yaga, Thor, Odin, and Balder. Tor, Odin, Balder. I believe that Mr. Door is also a mythological figure. And it actually didn't take that much thinking to figure out who it was. How do I start with this? So, Mr. Door inhabits the doorway, right? A passage between two worlds. Between two rooms. The crossroads. I think he's Papa Legba. He's a voodoo liwa who... So, at the beginning of any voodoo ritual, you invoke Papa Legba, who is the one who facilitates the crossroads, or the door between the spirit world and reality, right? In order to commune with the spirits, you first need to go through, or first need to get permission from Papa Legba. In addition to this fact, he has the ability to manifest at any crossroad, at any doorway, right? He is the concept of the watcher at the threshold, exactly. And he's a positive figure. Like, he's the father doll in the riddles, which makes sense, because he's Papa Legba. Like, you can invoke him to babysit the children. Like, in addition to that fact, Warlin Door is a version of Martin Hatch. Martin Hatch in Quantum Break is played by Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick played Papa Legba in season 2 of American Horror Story. So... given the way that this game uses its actors and voice actors as characters, and draws connections between them as being important, I think this means something. I think this matters. The Pepe Bun image for this one. I could do that, yeah. You could switch out for this. Lance Reddick also played a malevolent entity known as Mr. Abaddon in the hit ABC sci-fi drama Lost. Yes! We've done it. We've tied it all together. I've connected the points. You haven't connected shit. I've connected them.
I don't even think you know who's under your
Mom's
mask,
mentioned.
but you know how to make things difficult for yourself. All these rules, endless, convoluted loops you insist on going through. You are so lucky, you know. There are so many people helping you. Armies of people. Myself. Your wife.
Alice. I need to get to her. She's in danger.
She is. because of you. And so is someone important to me, someone you pulled into this. You keep opening doors, peeking in, reaching through to get what you want, and that puts you in my path.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have to go now.
Maybe you will make it through this time. This has gone on long enough. This and our Night Springs. It was a nice distraction.
It's time someone gave me a straight answer here.
The next time we meet, the circumstances will be very different. And you would do well to return the favor by playing your part. Or stay out of my way, Mr. Wake.
Whatever you say. Door, Zane, the masks were finally coming off. Was it a sign I was closer to escaping? I had no time to waste.
So, Mr. Door here is played by David Harewood, and he does such a fucking great job. Oh my god. Alan thought that was a really cool thing to say. He thought it was so cool he said it twice. Even after Door styled on him. He thought he was cooking.
Wake. Make you choke on these words. Alan Wake.
The door was locked.
Let's see. Joe's room besides. Zane Classic in theaters! Oh, yo. Dr. Darling has a couple of appearances in here.
Hurry, Tom. Here is the light at the end of the
Jumalauta, that held you close, Tom. Mutta onward, said the granny in the snow. When the panic is biggest, the help is also near.
I love you, Ati.
Door didn't seem happy to see me this time.
Fearing the master is the root of wisdom. But don't let the game get you down. He's playing his role. Maybe put him in your films, Tom, like you have put me. Sehän olisikin.
I like how, okay, so I like how there's characters like Alex Casey who are like, I fucking hate you for trying to play God. You can't write about people like they're characters in your fucking stories. You don't have control over my life. And then Ati's like, you put me in your movie. Even though there's no way Ati is a character who's constrained by the story, you know?
His face extra bones or something to let them animate him extra finish.
Totally, yeah. It's great. A thought. Door is Saga's father. That is the implication. There will be more hints to that. But, yes, it's heavily implied. The reason that Mr. Door is here is because Alan has involved Saga in the story.
What films?
I'm a fan of your masterworks. There is Tom the Poet, my favorite, and Yö is the most famous one, of course. And is it true what I hear? that it's coming back to cinemas soon. Is there a bottom to this rumor?
It's me. The rumor come out.
I need to get back to my apartment. Can you help me?
Well, plan is half done. You asked me to make sure you won't forget mikä se valokuva oli? The light pictures. The photos you artist wife took. They are waiting in the shoebox in the basement. What you leave behind, you find in front of you.
Okay. Thanks, Adi.
So, now we have confirmation that Alice's art has made its way into the Dark Place. The recurring thing about Alan being Zane remains interesting. Very, yes. Yeah, the conflation of Alan and Zane. Here's a fascinating thing. So the cult of the word from the subway section is the villain of that version of the story, right? In the hotel, the devil is Mr. Scratch, who is a version of Alan. And this next section, we're going to be going to a theater where a cult worships Thomas Zane's work, who is also Alan. He just made himself the bad guy over and over again in different forms. Ati genuinely doesn't remember or care that his name is Alan, does he? He's able to see through the artifice, for sure. So, he's not the only character that does that. The Anderson brothers also call him Tom.
Now you're falling apart. The light is a poisonous dart, forever seeking out the darkest part. Forever.
Has anyone else who hasn't had a mythological figure attached called Alan Tom? No.
Heart.
Oh, that was a short one. I think Ati might just be old at this point. So that's one of the explanations for why the Anderson brothers do it too, right? They're just calling him Tom because they're kind of senile. And that's sort of what you think at the beginning of Alan Wake 1, until you find out Tom Zane's relationship with Alan Wake. And then it's like, oh, are they seeing Zane's influence instead of Alan as a person? So, I don't know. We'll see some more of that. We'll figure it out. For now, I think we should go back to Saga's story for a second. Just for a little bit. Do some cutscenes, and then I'm gonna call it for the night. That's not where we're going. This is where we're going.
Hi.
Oh. Hi. I didn't see you there. Moose Fest. Raffles, karaoke, and skits. Glugi? Korva Pusti? And Karyalan Biraka. I'm pronouncing this terribly. Somebody needs to put me down for my own good. I apologize to Finland.
Quiet now. Feels like I've suddenly gone deaf. Those old folks sure can get loud.
Midfield, dear
I don't
fist.
mind it. What happened to,
JJ's got some aesthetic similarities, you know? Time to finish it. Alright, we've got some pins on the storyboard. Let's use them.
Alan Wake. My name comes up, your books come up, you come up. I've read them. There are echoes of my life in there that makes me feel like someone's been watching me.
I always feel like...
What happened to Alan Wake? The unanswered mystery.
Whatever happened to Robot Jones?
Never expected to find you alive.
My head's killing me.
I think you like using people, Wake. Taking their lives and twisting them into your stories. And when someone gets hurt, it's kick-ass material for the next one. Shit! Spilled my coffee.
Take it you're not a fan then, Agent Casey.
This is not your playground, and I'm not your fucking creation.
It doesn't work that way. You can't make something out of nothing, even in the dark place where the rules hardly apply. It's very complicated to make fiction come true. I saw visions of what's happening, what will happen. Dreams. I tried to use them in my writing. I understand how dangerous it is now. Even with a paralyzing amount of planning. I think I stopped writing. I think I gave up. But there's a manuscript. Maybe I forgot not to write. The dark place makes you forget. I just want to fix this. Find a version of the story that fixes everything.
Shut up! Get down! FBI!
We want the rider! No one else needs to get hurt!
Fuck off!
Oh, Casey's the best.
Hey, what are you doing? Scratch! It's close!
Stay down!
Wait, I need a gun!
No chance.
FBI!
Alright, pull that pin out.
Tracy! Look out! It's coming! It's here!
No chance. That's what you got. Alright, we can probably pull that other pin too. We had a room full of blood and dead bodies of members of the Cult of the Tree. Unless this is ragu. There's a lot of spaghetti sauce.
I had escaped the dark place. So had the dark presence.
Damn.
Scratch. He was here, in Bright Falls. I could feel him as a growing pressure in my head. Stronger by the minute. Why didn't he kill me with the rest? What did he want? I gotta get out of here.
Oh, there's more blood. Oh boy.
I needed to find Casey.
Oh dear.
We were on the same side in this fight. Strength in numbers.
Literal. That's a diner in town.
I need to protect myself. A gun and a flashlight. How nostalgic.
Oh, how meta.
That's Casey. He was still alive.
Later, sleepy fellows here. Must have been a big day at breakfast.
Uh-oh. Ah. I spent all my ammo? Probably shouldn't have done that. Gonna make a run for it. I got one shell. That's probably enough, right? That's probably plenty. One whole ball.
The pressure in my head was unbearable. Scratch was getting closer. Stronger than ever.
Casey! Look out! It's him! Scratch it!
Alan and Zane made themselves villains in all their works. Manipulating Alex Casey around.
The pressure eased off. Scratch was further away. I could think again. Casey.
Casey, I'm coming!
Fuck.
Casey!
FBI, drop the knife! Elmo?
Suggy, you don't understand.
Koskela?
FBC, stay down.
Oh shit!
Alan, Agent Anderson. Agent Kieran Estevez, Federal Bureau of
Control?
Control. We'll take it from here.
Control has arrived?
Wait, this is my case.
This is no longer an FBI investigation. The case has been transferred to us.
Enjoy your furlough.
This is bullshit.
Noted.
Noted.
Moving the evidence and paperwork from your field office to our base of operation at the sheriff's station. Any other pieces of evidence with you? Anything relevant?
The clicker. I can't trust them with it. Nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Then your work here is done. Hey, you did well.
Wait! My partner, Agent Casey's MIA.
We'll look for
He's
him.
my partner, damn it! I
Agent?
should be...
Go home.
Careful moving weight. They think he's a para-utilitarian.
No. Fuck this. I was so close to getting the clicker to wake. I'm not done here. Not until I find Casey. Not until my family is safe from this horror story.
Wonder how the oldest house is going right now? Not great! Want a night job, completed night job, came in. Oh.
Sinking under waves where the sun's never been. To ocean green where shadows creep. And Bowie said I should wait in deep. An artist dying for his art to make you finally see. Is that a lighthouse with a dying light? Or a reflection of my glowing eyes? Am I more than just a dream? I write my requiem from my ocean grave. I hit the bottom, I was tossed by waves. The sunken ship, my hiding place beyond the saving grace. I'm waking up to my own scream. Binge catching fish is a recurring theme. Afraid that waiting to the shore, it was just a dream. Is that a lighthouse with a dying light? Or a reflection of my glowing eyes? Am I a monster of the deep? Is that a lighthouse with a dying light? Or a reflection of my glowing eyes? Am I a monster of the deep?
I think this one's one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. So it's quite a good one.
Tor and Odin were in the photo with the clicker. They might know how it works. I'm off the case, but I can still visit family.
Yeah, the Valhalla Nursing Home is right here, so why not?
Hello?
Saga, it's Tor, your grandfather. About time you were coming to visit, kiddo.
How did you know I was coming to see you?
Never mind that. We have bigger problems. We're losing. Oh, fuck. Fuck you, you fucking hag. Fuck.
Shit. Something is off at that nursing home.
Lynch catching fish is a recurring theme. Amazing fucking line to elbow the pros the way you need it to go. Isn't it great? The songs are very on the nose. And I think it works. I think it works really well. I love it. Anyway, I think that's good for tonight. I think I'm going to take a break. And I'm going to go play some more Borderlands. I got to Mayhem level 5. It's pretty good. I like the endgame so far. I'm enjoying it. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being here. I just hope... Okay, so maybe y'all could reassure me on something. When I'm talking about this game, I really struggle to feel like I'm saying anything important, because I'm just kind of pointing out what's happening in it. And I just hope that I have made you think about it a little more deeply than you may have otherwise, I guess. I unfortunately watched the Fully Ramble-matic review of Borderlands 4. Is that, Yahtzee's new thing? Okay, good. This piece of art feels like it appreciates questions being asked about it more than it appreciates answers being declared of it. That's the feeling I get, yeah. That makes sense. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, cool. Because I'm like halfway through this game, and I'm like, is this gonna be a worthwhile video? Is this gonna say anything that's important enough for people to want to watch it? You know? And thank you for the reassurance. I appreciate it.